the Miracle Worker is how Helen Keller learned how to communicate. Her first time breaking through a world of communication. Before, she was pretty much sealed from the world with no seeing or hearing, and a lot of people thought that maybe she was mentally defective.
It's a hard character to play because you really have to be in the moment and get into character, and you can't hear anyone or see anyone, so you have to act as if you were in that.
Developing the character was a big challenge. My first couple rehearsals, Ralphe, the director, told me, "You think that you're almost there and you've really just begun."
Sommer playing Annie Sullivan is amazing. It's been so much fun working with her, and her character is really a challenge because she has to do double the work as Helen Keller because she has to memorize lines and do the blocking, and she's been doing phenomenal.
Sommer has a lot of stuff going on inside that doesn't come out as words, doesn't come out as actions necessarily, but is constantly going on in her mind, in her character. She's constantly facing a really tough battle as Annie.
Helen is a role that would be a tremendous challenge for any actor, adult or a child, and for a child especially, really challenging, and from day one Natalie has been amazing.
To prepare for the character who's blind, mute, and deaf, I actually put on earplugs, and my mom put a blindfold around my eyes, and I put on earmuffs, and I went around the house walking, and it was really hard because I couldn't talk, and I didn't like it, so I know how she felt.
Whenever I look into her eyes, it's just, you can see that she's just really in character, and just like Helen Keller would be.
Since I don't have lines in this play, it's not that much harder because blocking is a lot harder than memorizing lines for me, because to memorize all the fighting and the fighting scenes and everything, it's just harder.
The other thing that was a big challenge was the breakfast scene, which was really physically demanding.
It's when she tries to get me to eat with a spoon and folds my napkin, and we go through this whole thing of kicking, slapping, everything until she finally gets me to do it.
I believe it's the core of the show, and it has to be just explosive, like a car accident that you can't look away. But it's really important because it just shows how determined Annie Sullivan is to break through to Helen Keller, and she's not going to give up.
It's easy to underestimate people who have disabilities that make it difficult for them to communicate or difficult for them to interact with the outside world. And what we see in the real-life person of Helen Keller is that there was an extremely intelligent, opinionated, well-spoken, well-rounded woman who, as a child, seemed like a wild animal. And it seemed like, to the people around her, they went to many people and they all said, well, there's no way she's ever going to be any more than this. And then this one woman came in and was able to reach past that and bring out this whole person.
I think it's an important show for people to see, to understand that there's always hope and that we can't give up. And Annie Sullivan said herself, it's one of the original sins. And I think that we need to know that as just human beings in general. Whatever challenges that we're going through in life, we can't give up.
That's great.